Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The Indiana Fever cook the Dallas Wings 102-83. Ooh, so crispy. 58 points in the paint, 30 assists, 23 points off of turnovers. The first half was absolutely insane. You thought a 59-point second half was good. How about a 64-point first half from the Indiana Fever? The most points that any team has scored in a half this season. The team played disruptive D. They ran the floor. They were pushing ahead and attacking all day long, of course, led by Caitlin Clark. They looked like a contender today, a championship level team. Despite what you say about the Wings and their season, Paige Bueckers, to her credit, that first quarter, they hung with the Indiana Fever very well, even though the Indiana Fever were scoring. They were matching, they were sinking all their shots. Paige Bueckers looked absolutely stellar. She is so smooth with her play, has good reads, finishes through contact, exploits weaknesses, goes back to plays that work, even if her teammates aren't able to capitalize. But overall, she just looked impressive tonight. Obviously, a completely different player than Caitlin Clark, but as a efficient, consistent scorer that you can go to, she is important. It's why the Fever and Stephanie White switched their defense up and held her to only 3 points in that second quarter of the first half by blitzing her a lot and jumping her passing routes. Caitlin Clark reading her all night long. We'll get into that. And also Aliyah Boston. Aliyah Boston impressed me greatly. Her jump shot was on. She beat Aliyah Boston multiple times, at least 3 times tonight, going for a reverse layup move that she is like now is like her move. It's the Aliyah Boston, but she was running the floor like she just played better than I've seen her play anywhere else. And so I think the move from the Storm to the Wings probably was a good thing for her career, just because it gets her more playing time on the court. And so it was good to see for her. But I think the biggest move and the biggest evolution, and the thing that tells me that Stephanie White and the coaching staff knows what they're doing, that tells me that Natasha Howard wants to do what provides the team the best way to win, is clearly the last video I had, which has been going off, by the way. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting me on that video. But it was the fact that she was clogging lanes and kind of disrupting stuff, and she wasn't really flowing with offense that wants to run and be dynamic and with Caitlin Clark on the floor. And so what do? They had all of a sudden she's running the floor. She's doing those cuts that you want to see from her. She looked like the best cutter on the floor tonight, and she is replacing that Temi Fagbenle role that everyone has been so like up in arms about, that we lost Temi. I think that she can fit that role well. She is fitting that role. She had a great first step in a drive tonight, looking dynamic. Like, I mean, this was one of the best games that she has had this season, period. She ended the night with 22 points and 2 steals, and notably didn't have a ton of rebounds, but I'll get in that as we get further into this game. And of course, the engine that makes it all run. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. In the first half, she had 10 points, 7 assists, and 1 turnover. She ended with 14 points, 13 assists, 5 steals, and only 2 turnovers on the night. Slowed down a little bit. She had one moment where it looks like, she had a clash with Paige Bueckers to the rim, and she came down kind of funky. So it might have been slowed up a little bit, but she was still playing hard, having with those signature passes. But she was getting roughed up early, but she started to get calls. Apparently, JJ injured her ribs bumping into Clark and banging with her so much. She did come back into the game and have some nice plays, but Clark started the night great, hit her first 3. Her defense looked nasty. She had a sick block, and she had 3 steals in the first half, ended the night with 5, which is amazing from her and shows again her defensive prowess and how much she's stepping up. Yes, she gets beat a few times, but like on like a back door. But overall, she's playing really, really, really good D, on top of the fact that she is providing so much effort to this offense. The read she made today, the pace that she created by just getting the ball off of every rebound, pushing up the court, the way the team was deferring, getting the ball to her right away so that she could drive up and make stuff happen. The amount she was pushing the ball ahead, she had multiple push ahead passes, and one of them to Sophie Cunningham that honestly was one of the greatest full court passes of the night, that I think was actually off that block. She like blocks the ball, gets the ball, hucks it full court right over the fingertips of Sophie Cunningham for a finish. Like, that play was absolutely incredible. And this is the type of stuff that you can expect from Caitlin Clark and what you saw before, and the type of exciting play that the fans have been wanting. But again, the team just really hasn't had all the pieces together and being able to implement it. Kelsey Mitchell being one of the best beneficiaries of it tonight, of course. But also, Aliyah Boston And it's clear in this game that Clark has the keys. That there are times where she's just calling the 2-woman game. She just literally like, AB, let's go. And they burned them on it multiple times. They just like, hey, we're gonna run this offense, try to stop it. You can't. Surprise. Speaking of which, Aliyah Boston, 17 points, 63% shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, only 1 BS foul, which is amazing for her tonight. A very light foul night from her, which is great. She got one right. It was like right at the beginning of the third quarter. I was like, oh, here we go. They're going to try to balance out the game, but nope. She only gets 1 on the night. Battle on D, got lots of deflections, added to some steals for other people to capitalize off of. Her jumpers are looking free. There's a lot of people that are like, oh no, she needs to keep going to the rim. Obviously, teams are packing the paint. And she's just like, okay, then I'm gonna take the jumper. There was actually one funny moment where Clark gave her an assist and she, faked a drive and lead and bite on it. And she just hit the 2. And Clark was like, just take the shot right away. Don't hesitate. Just shoot that. You're good for it. And sure enough, she is. She's making great reads. She's getting assists herself. She's doing the fake handoffs and finishing strong. I mean, she was thriving tonight, and it's fun to see when we go through this style of offense and play that she gets a lot of high percentage looks, and it's like a team rebounding scenario where it's just you're pushing the ball ahead and pushing, and they don't have to bang down low and kind of hold out for those rebounds a lot. They're still blocking out, but it's the other players they're catching it and getting it to Clark and pushing it up, and you can tell that there are key players that are focused on crashing and slashing through, like a Lexi Hall, like a Timpson, that are tipping and getting the ball out for second chance points and the like. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, I mean, she was scoring at will tonight. 20 points, 3 assists, on fire, lighting up the net. They had to replace it multiple times tonight between commercial breaks because she was burning those out. Her game is looking so good. Running the floor for Clark, backdoor cuts. It's a thing of beauty. Kelsey Mitchell's online. She's only going to get better as we get deeper into this season. Kelsey Mitchell's a thing of beauty. Sophie Cunningham, 13 points, 3 assists, 83% on the night, 66% from beyond the arc. And I think beyond the scoring that has come on lately, which has been, yes, very helpful, and the defensive attitude, she has really become the veteran leader that the team needed. But I didn't like, everyone talked about Tasha, wnba or Sydney Colson, but Sophie Cunningham, they had her mic'd up tonight, but she's the one that, like, every huddle, every, bench time, she is talking to the team. She's keeping them focused on key things that matter no matter what's happening in the game. She's pulling them, refocusing them. She was doing it the previous game. She's doing it tonight. She is the veteran leader this team needs, and she's playing well, which is a huge bonus. 3-and-D, using her 3 threat to drive off of it and get easy scores. She is a huge unlock for us. Love to see it from her. KK back on the floor early tonight. 13 minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and it's needed with how much we are running Tosh down the floor. You need to spell her with another person that is athletic, and I think she is going to, her nickname is Little Tosh. I think she is going to come back in and she's going to be molded in Tasha's image. Tosh is going to be here forever. Timpson's going to be here longer, but also we need a second player to fill in for when Tosh has to take breathers because she is an older vet. And so Timpson, I'll get into how she evolves, but I think that that's going to be her role going forward. Good rim defense, good rebounding effort, tipping balls, good effort from her. She got 9 shots on the night, so the team is obviously confident in her taking shots and giving her opportunities. Now, she didn't complete a lot of them. She was 3 for 9 on the night, but she did get to the rim, and I think one of those key unlocks for her is going to be creating different ranges of which she scores at. I think her little hook was good. We didn't see it a lot tonight. A lot of it was like she'd dribble in and then go up to shoot, but she's against Tierra McCowan, Lee Root, really big bigs that she's just kind of going into block scenarios, and so she got stifled a lot tonight because of that, because she's getting swarmed. So an evolution for her is going to be, can she develop a little jumper? Can she develop some other moves like we saw when she drew the foul in order to get other looks and get fouls and not just get blocked when she goes to the rim? And also being able to pass out too is going to be a big thing for her as well. But I think that her being able to run the floor and fill in that cutting role that Tasha's currently running that we saw in this game is going to be the next development of her for this season. And we're really going to start flying when she's doing that and finishing. Ari had 20 minutes on the night, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Good D, but unfortunately she's joined Clark in the slump department. Our guards are really great facilitators, doing good on D, but they are struggling when it comes to shooting. but they'll find their way. They're gonna have their nights where they're gonna pick up. Clark will definitely come around. You can see the shots; they're so close though. But I think the key for her, again, similar to last game, is her and Clark just need to connect more. And the more they get time to play together, that will happen. But in this game, there are multiple times where Clark would run, she's hustling, and she finally gets that wide open look and she's calling for the ball, and Ari is just Clark blind and doesn't see her. And sometimes she's making a good read and get a score, to Natasha Howard or something. But the other times it's just like, give Clark the opportunity, man. She's working so hard for it. Get her the ball. And that'll just happen with time. That's a time on the floor thing and reviewing tape, and that'll happen, especially with this coaching staff and this team. Lexi Hall hit her lone 3, which is good to see from her. Had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Solid night from her defensively, scrambling for balls, disrupting. Really, I think the only thing that I'd love to see from her kind of evolve beyond getting her more looks is just increasing her decision making in those fast break push ahead scenarios, because she had another one tonight, which isn't the first game that this has happened, where she gets the ball in a go ahead situation and she kind of mishandles it, a pass or something like that. And again, that's just a thing that's going to take time and reps. But as we see her clean that up and be another threat in transition, things are going to get better and better and better for the Fever and her. Yes, they played the Wings. So a lot of people are going to be like, you're overreacting to this win from the Fever. But this is now the second big point scoring game for the Indiana Fever, where with those halves that they put in are monstrous halves in offense. And I think that the Steph White and Fever haters, this is why it's hard for me to take them seriously. And I get that as a fan, you are being fed a lot of narratives from people that want to clickbait you and run with these narratives because it will get them views. And my point and vision of this entire time is like, this stuff, where we are going, where we're getting. And if you've watched any of my videos this entire season, you've seen that I've been consistent with this the entire season, that this is obvious to me. Like, Clark is coming back off of injury, her second injury stint. She's not 100%. You see in this game the pace they're playing at. You see in this game the adjustments they're making. You see Clark getting back to her usual self with the team, her usual bravado. She's elevating the players around her. The team is also playing a style to play with her. And this team looks so efficient because of how many good looks they are getting off of assists and the pace of play. 88% field goal percentage from Tosh, 60+% from AB and Kelsey Mitchell, 83% from Cunningham. Like, they want to play this style of ball. The players want to play this style of ball. This was always the vision. This is what they said we were going to run. We just never had all the pieces together long enough to make it happen. And the team looks better than last year. The offense looks better. And the key point, though, is the defense looks miles better than last year because of Stephanie White and Breon January. And this is a championship level performance. The key is they just need to stay healthy, stay consistent, and continue to build and stay hungry towards the playoffs. This team, at this point before the All-Star break, looking this dynamic with a defense that is much improved from last year and an offense that is more weapons and is much improved from last year. Like, this is a way better team. And it's thanks to the players and the coaching staff and the ability to have more time together. And they're doing it quicker than I thought. I thought that they would get more to this look more confidently after the All-Star break. But we're hitting it as Clark is getting healthier and they're able to start taking the training wheels off. And the training wheels aren't even fully off. That's the scary part. We're at 102 points a game. We're like, she's not fully unleashed yet. Like, this is great. And the fact that we have the ability and the personnel that when she is off the court, we don't look dead. So honestly, huge game from them. And also I want to give a big thank you to everyone who supported me, especially my last video, which is taken off. I don't know what part of the algorithm I popped onto, but it is the most liked video that I've ever had. And I've blasted through 10K subscribers. We're heading towards 11K. And I'll try to find something to do cool to celebrate the 10K. And I would like to make a little announcement that I am going to be courtside at a future Fever game. I will let you know as that time gets closer, give everybody a heads up when to look for and when that is going to be. But again, thank you for everyone in the comments that likes, that banters with me. Like, I love to interact with you, and so thank you for following and supporting my content. And for tonight, again, comment who was your MVP of tonight's game, what was your favorite play or moment of this game, and as always, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.